What's up, everybody? As usual, at the beginning of Season 2, like all other seasons, we got two new guns in the Battle Pass, one of them being the Ram 7's little brother, the Ram 9 SMG, and I think it fits right into the meta. There's a question of, every time a new gun comes out, does it fit into the meta? I think it does play a role where the HRM9 and the AMR9 don't quite fill in, and that's a faster moving overall weapon. It does have a slower sprint to fire time, which we'll talk about all these exact numbers when we hop over to true game data like we always do after loadouts. I think it's a little bit faster ADS, but it's got faster sprinting speed and all that. So it's definitely more of the movement SMG with a very competitive time to kill with the rest of the SMGs. So of course, as usual, we're going to look at my recommended loadout, and then we're going to jump over to true game data and compare it to the other SMGs that are within the meta and people are commonly using. So let's go ahead and jump over into the loadout. Okay, and here we are at the loadout screen. As usual, I'm always starting off my SMGs with sonic suppressors. I know a lot of people will go down to the different muzzle brakes, and I'm sure there's one that I'm not using that other people would recommend. But I personally like to stay off the mini-map completely, whereas like the L4 flash hider, the spiral flash hider, what are the ZEM 35 compensated flash hider, they all shorten how long you're on the radar, but you're still on the radar. And when you look at the sonic suppressor, it helps with bullet velocity and damage range. It hurts your recoil control slightly, but there's no issue with this. This has like no recoil, like most SMGs up close don't. Now, if you're using this for sniper support, maybe you consider one of the other ones, but that also does help with damage range and bullet velocity of the sonic suppressor. So your choice. Then we have the Armistice light barrel, helps with ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, and sprint speed. If you are trying to go purely for damage range and sniper support, of course you can switch to the Imperial light barrel, but that hurts your recoil control, so that give and takes there. And then if we wanted to go ultimate movement speed, could actually go to the short barrel, which helps your sprint to fire speed, helps your recoil control, but then it hurts your ADS speed, and that's a whole other thing. So Armistice light barrel comes out on top. Then it's going to be preference between DR6 hand stop, which helps ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, which the ADS speed and sprint to fire speed are a little important on this. Where the Edge BW4 hand stop helps more with movement speed. We're going to go with the DR6 on this one, but it's the preference to choose one of those two. Then we got the 50 round mag, and finally we have the Hunker 5 stock pad, which helps with the gun kick control, the recoil control that we hurt with some of our other attachments. You can go with the H34 pad as well, because that doesn't hurt your ADS speed the way the Hunter stock pad does, but it helps your recoil control and all that just a little bit less, and it hurts your movement speed and all that, which we're using this as our movement SMG, so that's not quite ideal. If you are someone like me who struggles with the iron sights, I'm still trying to get myself to get used to them, but like if you've been using the Ram long range, these are the exact same iron sights, and you probably won't have an issue. I personally get lost in these iron sights a little bit, but I'm just making myself get used to it. If that's the case, I would probably consider dropping the hand stop for an optic or the stock, depending on... Sorry, I got a playlist update interruption there. Either the stock or the hand stop, depending on how you feel with the guns. Because the Hunter stock does actually hurt your sprint to fire and aim down sight speed, but it helps your recoil more than the DR6 hand stop, which doesn't help your recoil at all, but gives you better sprint to fire and aim down sight speed and some better movement speed. So if you struggle with the iron sights, drop one of those two attachments, favor an optic. I would probably drop the Hunker 5 stock pack, because I don't think the recoil is too bad on this. But this is my recommended build here: Sonic Suppressor S, Armistice Light Barrel, DR6 hand stop, 50 round mag, Hunker 5 stock pad. If you just wanted a loadout and a quick opinion on it, definitely a good movement SMG, definitely something worth considering using, but the AMR and the HRM definitely have arguments against it. This is my loadout, so thank you so much for watching. If that's all you wanted, I really do appreciate it, but for the rest of us, we're going to jump over to True Game Data. Okay, so now we're over here on True Game Data. You can check out the Ram 9, the AMR 9, the HRM, the WSP 9, which I'm personally not a fan of, but I know a lot of people really like it. And we have all those loaded in. We have the AMR 9 with the Tectonic Micro Integral Suppressor, Slate Reflector, DR6 hand stop, 50 round mag, and Phantom Grip. This is the True Game Data build. This is actually a really good build. Personally, in my opinion, I'm starting to switch to it over what I had before, although the build I have, and that video's on my channel if you want to go check that out, is a very good option as well. The HRM9, I am sticking with my build over the builds that you see with so many people, which once again, Sonic Suppressor S barrel, the Princeps long barrel, because I love those iron sights, folding stock, DR6 hand stop, and 50 round drum. And then the WSP9, I actually got this from warzoneloadout.games. And I will go ahead and link them as well as True Game Data down below. With the Sonic Suppressor S, they actually had a compensator on there. But once again, I like to stay off the minimap, so I subbed that for the Sonic Suppressor. Everything else is theirs. WSP Reckless 90 long barrel, WSP Classic Factory Stock, DR6 hand stop, and the 50 round mag. And so now we're gonna, and you see the Ram 9 was the build I just went over. We go down to the charts here. You can take the WSP9 out. I personally hate the WSP9. If you include ADS time, it loses even more. Sprint to fire time, now it's there with the Ram, which is one of the issues. We'll talk about the table down below very shortly. But we're beating out the WSP9 for the most part pretty easily. Just this small range where they're not pretty much even. So I'm going to go ahead and take the WSP9 out of it. We're going to look at the Ram 9, the AMR 9, and the HRM 9. So we got chest shots up now. You can see the HRM 9 is actually losing at chest shots to both of these weapons. Up until the Ram 9 drops off, and then when the Ram 9 drops off, the HRM is beating it pretty much the rest of the way you're ever going to use an SMG. And of course, the AMR is king here. When you include sprint to fire time, now the AMR and the Ram are losing to the HRM. If you include ADS time, now the HRM is losing to both of those as well, and the Ram is actually going to be the fastest to kill at the chest. Once again, this is all about playstyle, how you want to use these weapons. All three of these I would consider equally meta. It just depends on how you use them and what you feel comfortable with. When we're looking at headshots, including ADS time, it doesn't really change much of the chart at all. It moves the AMR's time to kill down a little bit. Everything else pretty much stays the same. And you can see the AMR 9 is going to be superior once you get out of 10.7 meters. It's going to be superior at headshots. Chest shots, it's not quite as much, but it's always competitive. Neck shots are the same as chest shots. Stomach shots is where the AMR starts to lose, as well as, I believe, it's lower arm and then upper leg. And lower leg, it's losing to both. Oh, the combination's actually available for everybody. That used to just be for premium members, which maybe one day when I can afford it, I'll have premium for game data. Anyways, so that's kind of the look at how they fare on a time to kill chart. If you look at the damage per mag, we're just going to look right at the top here. The AMR does have the best damage per mag, and these are all 50-round drums and magazines. The 50-round drum on the AMR is going to actually have the most total damage. When you look at damage per second, we have the Ram 9 winning out because its fire rate is very high. But we're just looking at time to kill here, really. This is all including the ADS times. We're going to come down to the chart here. ADS movement speed, Ram 9 is key. ADS time, Ram 9 is the fastest. Bullet velocity, it's actually the HRM with that build. I know people have a no-barrel build with a compensator, and I believe that would bring this more in line with these two bullet velocities. But crouch speed, the Ram 9 wins. Fire rate, the Ram 9 wins. It has less flinch than the AMR 9 and almost the exact same as the HRM. The mag size is all 50. It has the best hipfire as well. The max hipfire area for the Ram is less than either of the other two options. It's the minimum hipfire area is going to be the same as the AMR, but a good amount less than the HRM. The movement speed is actually slower than the HRM, but only by 0.09. Not a huge deal, so pretty much similar. But second fastest movement speed. Its reload time is way faster. Here you're looking at 2.8 seconds versus 4.1 and 3.92. Its sprint speed is significantly faster at 5.9 versus 5.36 and 5.59. And its sprint to fire is the slowest. That's where its biggest downfall is in the sprint to fire and its swap speed. But the swap speed isn't too important if you're hitting your shots or you're not trying to 1v4. And then the tac sprint speed is also faster, but only by 0.09 over the HRM. So not crazy, but it does have the fastest tac sprint speed, the best hip fire size, the quickest reload, the best ADS time, the best crouch speed, the best ADS movement speed. So it's definitely your movement SMG, whereas the other two aren't quite as much. But I think that's where the Ram fits in the meta. Those are my thoughts on the Ram overall. Like I said, any three of these SMGs are definitely a good option. It all is going to depend on your play style and what you feel comfortable with, iron sights versus not. I will say the HRM is the only gun that I can truly recommend the iron sights. Even if you don't have the long build, The AMR absolutely needs an optic on it. But yep, that's my thoughts on all of that. Try out the RAM for yourself. Let me know what you think of it, especially compared to the AMR and the HRM. But I will see you on Urzikstan, Fortune's Keep, Ashika, and Vondel. Get frying. Have a good day. Bye.